This off-road adventure is proudly brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
No stopping, yeah.
Welcome to the third round of the 2010 Bridgestone Fundi Challenge, the competition where average Joe 4x4s are pitted against each other in a variety of mile-to-wild tests. This round takes the 45 teams to Lichtenberg in the Northwest Province, or more specifically to a mining quarry just outside the town of Lichtenberg. Here the teams face 10 4x4 obstacles as well as some navigational challenges. But before we get down and dirty in Lichtenberg, just a quick recap of where the challenge and its main protagonists were at. Saki Kutsia and Marius Bontes, driving an Isuzu Frontier, were in a good overall position in the challenge after a solid performance in the first event and a win in the second.
Choppies, next, lady for the shave.
Charles and Judy Pierce, driving a big Toyota Land Cruiser, were also in the mix.
Daai is gemaak vir Germany's, dan karretjies.
Other competitors with overall title aspirations were Johan Marx and Johan Bischoff in their Mercedes-Benz Gelandewagen, as well as Marlene Muller and partner Johan Blanche in their Isuzu KB. Yep, that's right, a lady giving a lot of boys some stick. However, one name was ominously missing from the top performers of 2010. Andre de Villiers, the defending champ, was languishing way down the leaderboard after a dismal first event and not making it to Swaziland. Going into this challenge, Andre and his wife Yvonne had some serious catch-up to do. Okay, with the pancakes on the go, the bacon on the fry, the paperwork in order, the marshals on the roll, and a few last-minute adjustments to tire pressures, let's get dirty, Lichtenberg style. Obstacle 1 was a little warm-up exercise for the bigger and more daunting obstacles to follow. But that doesn't mean it was an easy one. Stop on this slippery obstacle and the 4x4 may slide into one of those dreaded white poles. Add a few holes and an axle twister to the equation, well. Starting off the day's proceedings were local boys Daryl Burnt and John Markram in a very standard Mitsubishi Colt Club Cab. As in the first event, crews are allowed to inspect the obstacles before tackling them, giving them the opportunity to devise cunningly brilliant strategies. But as in the first event, lots of points stand to be lost. Touch a pole and that's a bye-bye to 50 points. Come to a complete stop in the obstacle and that's cheerio to another 15 points. A maximum of 100 points are up for grabs on each of the 10 obstacles. Okay, let's observe Daryl and John's cunning strategy. But alas, the Colts had connected with a pole. So that was only 50 points in the bank.
Well, 50 points for a touch, not too good for the first one. Yeah.
Next up were Hannes Janssen van Rensburg and Vian Evan Smith, also from Lichtenberg, and driving a Landy Defender V8. But they had also touched a pole.
Baie lekker, maar die paal was te naby geplant.
Die momentum van die kar was bietjie swaar toe druk ons in 'n paaltjie in. Maar verder sal dit seker maar beter gaan.
Tiens de Toy and Dion van der Merwe also hail from, yep, you guessed it, Lichtenberg. They tackle obstacle 1 in their Ford Ranger V6.
En dan moet ek spy.
Easy sure does it, but with 5 stops along the way, the team loses 25 points. Wimpy Olafir and Johan Kukumo picked up a differential lock problem with their Nissan Patrol on the first event. And although the Patrol completed the Swaziland Challenge after some repairs, the team decided to rather use a Toyota Land Cruiser Bakkie for their home event. But although the Cruiser Bakkie is one heck of a bakkie, as far as bakkies go, the turning circle thing, well, it's not really its thing. So it's not a great start for the always jovial Wimpy and Johan.
Skerp naar jou kant toe. Right. Right. Reguit. Wat is die paaltjie aan jou kant?
So it's a rollback and a stop for the always jovial Wimpy and Johan.
Ek kan gaan trap hier nou daai paaltjie raak. Ek wou nie.
Obstacle 2 was the easiest of the day. A gentle side slope, don't touch the bunting on the ground, and keep a cool head, easy peasy. These are the winners of the first event of the year, Leon Lotter and Peter Lewitz, making light work of the obstacle in their Hilux. Next up on Obstacle 2 were Wessels and Johan Richel in a brawny Land Cruiser Bakkie. But wait, let's rather fast forward to something a bit more challenging, something like Obstacle 3 and 4. After the break, the crews tackle the more challenging Obstacle 3, the very challenging Obstacle 4, and don the dreaded goggles for a tough 4x4 driving test. And later, the crews have to navigate themselves to Obstacles 6 and 7 and complete the last 3 obstacles in the quarry. We're back at the third round of the Bridgestone Fundi Challenge, and a mining quarry just outside the northwest town of Lichtenberg. This is Obstacle 3. The 4x4 game was officially on. After the first 2 obstacles served as a warm-up for what was to follow, Obstacle 3 had a bit of a trick to it. The climb started almost immediately after the starting point, which meant that not a lot of momentum could be gathered before tackling the deceptive rocks. But here's the trick, the rules did not state that competitors may not make a long U-turn and build up a head of steam in the process. And this was exactly what Wessels and Johan Richel did in their Toyota. But with the turning circle of an ox wagon, the cruiser almost didn't make the turn. In the end, the crew made it up.
Ja, het was lekker. Ons het amper die draai nie gemaak nie. Die bakkie het bietjie lekker opgetel. Maar ons het geweet ons sal hom doen. Ons is reg vir die volgendes.
Another 4x4 with some turning circle issues is the Nissan Patrol of Marnie and Marius van Eerden. But they make it stick. And the Patrol looks like it's out on a Sunday drive as it breezes up the steep and slippery slope.
Check, the not so face man.
This is Grant and Corinne Kiernan and family in their Toyota Fortuna. Obstacle 4 requires the driver to put a very clever right foot forward. You have to know when to ease off the gas and when to pin the accelerator against the carpet and keep it there. Making it more tricky is a tight left turn, followed by a steep climb. So let's see what the Kiernans get up to. Okay, so the Fortuna didn't make it, and Grant is heading out with 0 points. Oh wait, he's not. Yes, there he goes again. At this point, and with one slightly upset marshal showing the way,
do that. I asked you to go out.
Sorry.
The Kiernans gracefully accepted defeat and moved right along. The Kiernans were not the only ones to fall victim to the deceptive Obstacle 4. Local lads Henny du Toit and Gerry Ludik in their Land Rover Defender 110 didn't get very far, especially after a mechanical problem meant that only the front wheels provided propulsion. Gareth Vermaak and Neville Black in a Mazda Drifter decided to test the structural rigidity of their vehicle. Instead of going up the obstacle, with the bit between their teeth, they forged ahead again. But to no avail. Johan van der Merwe and Martin van Rensburg driving a Nissan Navara made the turn, but then ground to a halt.
Wat is 'n rollback?
Johan Westraat and Hannes Zierman in a Toyota Hilux took a more cautionary approach. But that didn't work either. Obstacle 4, however, was not the boss of all. Jack and Vanessa Romain demonstrated the put foot and hold on for dear life method in their Jeep Wrangler. Llewellyn Edwards and Andries Janssen van Vieren in the powerful Honeydew Toyota Cruiser had the same brilliant plan. As did Swaziland winners Saki Kutsia and Marius Bontes in the Isuzu Frontier. And Robert and Lehane Hale in the big Isuzu Trooper. Before the crews navigated themselves to Obstacle 5, they first had to do a bit of admin. The marshal gave each crew a distance and a compass direction. As an added bonus, he also pointed out some blue gum trees on the horizon. So from Obstacle 5, the teams had to navigate themselves to Obstacle 6, by any means and by any road. This is one of those very easy but very difficult tests. The driver gets a trendy set of goggles that are completely blacked out. The navigator has to give instructions where to turn, where to go faster, and so on. As far as 4x4 goes, this is a relatively easy test, except for the last gate, where a tricky axle twister and those dreaded white poles wait in ambush. This is Ben and Francois Pretorius in their left-hand drive Isuzu Trooper.
Langs, langs, langs. Een keer rechts, langs. Kom rechts, kom rechts, kom rechts, rechts. Langs, 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 langs. Langs, oké, hou net zo. Oké, gaan langs, gaan langs. Gaan langs, langs die hobbels, prikkelbos, gaan langs, kom langs, langs, langs. Langs, 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 langs. Langs, 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 langs.
They make it through without any penalties. Marlene Muller and Johan Ter Blanche are at the sharp end of the Fundi field. Let's see how they go.
Okay, baie my kant toe. Stadig jou kant toe. Jy bietjie vet my kant toe. 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 As hy jou kant toe. Okay, net so, net so. Stadig jou kant toe. My kant toe gee bietjie vet, my kant toe. My kant toe. Jou kant toe bietjie, my kant toe. Gee vet bietjie. My kant toe, my kant toe, my kant toe, my kant toe. Jou kant toe. Brilliant.
That's full marks for Marlene and the Isuzu KB. But the performance for Obstacle 5 goes to Llewellyn Edwards and Andries Janssen van Vieren in the Honeydew Toyota Land Cruiser.
Okay, terug, stadig. Okay.
It started on a perfect note, with the crew deftly steering clear of the white poles. But then the last turn loomed. After touching one of those white poles, navigator Andries, being a man of resource, decided that a drastic plan of action was needed. so he steered Llewellyn out of the obstacle because there are no rules against such an action, and navigated the cruiser about 2 kilometers around the obstacle to line up for that last gate. Do you also feel some tension in the Toyota cabin? Finally, the crew made it through the obstacle with 50 points.
Stop. Iets na.
Lokker. Oké, raak je dan?
Dan is af.
Ja, het gaat af. Oké.
Ons moet opgeline wees.
Hou langs. Langs. Hou langs. Langs. Hou langs.
Nog.
Lucht, ja, nog, kom langs. Kom nog langs, kom nog. Nog langs. Nog langs. Oké, nog. Vicky, oké, raak je.
Finally, the crew made it through the obstacle with no penalties. After completing Obstacle 5, the crews had to navigate themselves to Obstacle 6, using the distance and compass reading the marshal had given them earlier. This is Willy van Rooyen and Gerda Pretorius in their Trick Range Rover. With the help of their 2 GPS systems, they find the obstacle easily. Obstacle 6 was another one of those quiet before the storm kind of obstacles. Still, competitors had to stay focused. Touch those white poles and it's still 50 points per touch. Willy, Gerda and the big rangy idle through. This is Robert and Lehane Hale, utterly focused on the task at hand.
Wide. Okay, come through. Right, left. Stay there. Okay, come through. Climb it. Okay. Go straight down.
They complete Obstacle 6 without any penalties.
Thank you.
After the break, the crews take on the slightly more challenging Obstacle 7. Things go downhill at Obstacle 8, they breeze through Obstacle 9, and the last obstacle gets most of the teams in a tangle. This is Obstacle 7 at the Lichtenberg round of the Bridgestone Fundi Challenge. Competitors have 2 options here, the difficult route and the easier one. Only 75 points were up for grabs for the easier route, while the more difficult one was worth the standard 100 points. This is the all-lady team Vanessa Besson and Karen Duprier driving a Toyota Hilux. The ladies decide to take the easier option.
Die gaat ons. Steek ons Susie. Steek ons. Gaan. Stay.
And make it through.
We've got it.
Andre and Claudette Benson demonstrate that although there is a lot of 4x4 challenge to the Fundi Challenge, it doesn't mean the little ones have to stay home. Little Tamrin has an excellent view as her dad steers the Mitsubishi Pajero through Obstacle 7 and bags 100 points. After completing Obstacle 7, the teams had to navigate themselves back to the quarry to Obstacle 8. Here the 4x4s faced a steep and slippery descent, with a tight negative camber turn added to the mix. As always, the white poles stand guard, ready to catch out the unwary. Hanif Kader and Bilal Mohammed in a new Land Rover 110 Puma take the Landy through without any hassles. The smallest 4x4 in the competition, the Suzuki Jimny 1.3, is piloted by Rian Huda and Marius van Niekerk. The tiny but surprisingly capable Jimny gets through okay. And we finally caught up with defending champion Andre de Villiers and wife Yvonne in a Toyota Fortuner. Andre seems very focused. Andre makes no mistakes, he clearly means business. This is Obstacle 9. Here the secret was momentum, as Albert de Villiers and Louise Engelbrecht in a Toyota Hilux demonstrate. Marco and Joe Marinkovic, driving one of those seemingly unstoppable Mercedes-Benz Geländewagens, also dispatch Obstacle 9 with no penalties. Lichtenberg's Obstacle 10 proved to be a real tough nut to crack, even for some of the normally unstoppable 4x4s. The catch here was to tight turn just before a slippery climb, which requires some momentum through those white poles. With diff lock or locks activated, the 4x4s will battle to make that turn, and reversing in the obstacle will cost points. This is Hendrik Porgita and Jakub Brits in a Jeep Wrangler. Usually the Jeep is unstoppable, but here that tight turn forces the Wrangler to reverse.
And exit through the gates into full stop.
Andre and Yvonne de Villiers clear the tricky obstacle with little trouble. The Toyota Prado V6 of Joe Holzhausen and Amanda Kraus also make it through without incurring any penalties. The Mercedes-Benz Geländewagen of Fundi frontrunners Johann Marx and Johann Bischoff looks like it's out on a casual Sunday drive. This is Pete Oerdendahl and Graham Terry Yupp in another Merc G-Wagon.
Go, 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 go. Go, go. Stop. That's...
After the day's 10 obstacles, and with all the competitors back safe and sound at the Lichtenberg 4x4 Club's Boma, the scores were tallied. Now, normally the top finishers' scores are very close to each other. This time, they were not. And in third place,
Marco and Joe for the Geländewagen.
And in second place,
Johann Marx and Johann Bischoff.
And the winner is...
Well, the first time ever that this has happened. Not the occasion that they've won, but they actually got full marks, 100%. Gives me great pleasure calling up Andre and Yvonne de Villiers.
So, defending champion Andre de Villiers was back with a bang, making history by recording the first zero penalty score in the Bridgestone Fundi Challenge competition. Will he be able to repeat this feat at the next round near Kroonstad in the Free State? And will the other top runners be able to put the brakes on Andre and his Toyota Fortuner? We'll soon find out. Till then.
Hoe dit gegaan?
Wel, ik weet nog niet, is ons deur. Waar staan ons?
Ons het 100 punte gekry.
Huh? En 0 was en 0 die vorige keer.
Ja, baie geluk.
Ek raak bang, Wessel. Ek raak bang.
Where are we?
Like that? Yeah. There you go. Oh yeah, maybe I like it. I like my Ray-Bans, it's a shade darker.
2 flat tires, broken rear diff lock.
So a few challenges on the way, but that's what the fun is all about.
This off-road adventure is proudly brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.